The WAN show is theoretically live. So,
hooray!
No, I'm not sure. Theoretically,
is the best kind of radically.
Yeah. Frames encoded 389.
That's a good thing.
Which is good. Frames dropped to 0.
But doesn't seem to necessarily mean much on Twitch lately.
Yeah, we had some issues a little while ago.
Yeah, I've had issues on my private stream too lately. Like, you can be setting everything perfectly, but it'll be like, oh, well, some server that you're not even going to is down, so you're screwed. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? I have 3 callouts for us now.
So
the longer you're
made.
Still doing things, it'll actually be more and more set up.
Excellent, thank you.
So
Luke.
if we start when the show is supposed to end, we'll be ready.
All right, so our online viewers. Oh, I'm getting a lot of happy birthday shout outs in the Twitch chat. Thank you very. Oh, apparently,
no longer his birthday. Make sure you say belated.
Hold on a second here. I'm just gonna do a thing. Let me see. Playback devices.
Oh, you have your thing, right?
Open volume mixer. There we go. And there it is. Mute that. All right, there we go. So apparently we can hear me fine. Okay, cool. All right, so it is a very special WAN show today. It is the day after my birthday, which is very nice of everyone to notice. It's not like any of my staff did.
I did. That's a complete lie.
And it's not on the calendar.
One, it's on my calendar because I manually put everyone's birthdays on my calendar because I will not remember them if I don't. Even like my mom, my brother, everyone. Everyone has a manual entry. So I remembered because Google remembered.
Fantastic. And it's also special because today is the day of the Linus Media Group live meetup here at our new headquarters. We've got a lot of people braving the sun and the fresh air to be here with us today. It's not an easy thing to do, and I totally get it, guys. So huge thanks to everyone who's here, and a huge thanks as well to everyone who's tuning in over the internet, because let's face it, it's not always easy to hop on a plane like some of our incredible viewers did. I actually had 3 people drop off with me today some currency from their native lands. We had one gentleman from Germany, we had someone from Argentina, and then I had someone from, where is this one from? That's the Argentinian one?
That one's Norway.
Yes, there's the one. So Johannes from Norway, and I'm gonna butcher this. Edith, E-D-I-S. Edith, thank you! And then Sebastian, who actually shares his first name with my last name, even the same spelling, which is unusual. So we had an incredible turnout today. Some people hailing from BC who drove up to 8+ hours. We had a couple people show up at the same time from Winnipeg. How they managed to time that, I'm not completely certain. So pretty unbelievable there, guys. So we've got a bunch of great topics for you today, I think.
I've got callouts now.
Yep, the Ashley Madison hack has got some serious updates, and we'll get to that later on the show. Also, a research lab has accidentally created a longer-lasting battery. How'd they do that? Well, the same way. Here, silly putty. Also an accident. There you go. I believe they were trying to make some kind of better rubber or something.
Google Project Sunroof, which is Google's way to try to help everybody get solar panels. And also, Popcorn Time users are finally getting attacked by various companies.
Oh, that was a matter of time.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll that intro. Think it's going to work?
No.
Actually, I know for a fact it isn't going to work.
Oh.
What did I just do?
What did you do?
Hold on. I got this.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I thought you said it wasn't going to work.
Well, it sort of worked. Worked a little bit.
It is working, though. I want to go to the auction.
You can go
what
if
if
you
there's
want.
something cheap? I don't I could miss out.
There will be something cheap. I think there's still like a Titan Black or two
I
in
actually
there.
did hear about that.
And there's only so many people that still have cash, so I suspect they're taking it away for not a whole lot of it.
Well, if you can take like $2, I think I'm good. Other than that, I don't know so much.
I think we did multiples of 5 anyway.
Okay.
So I think you're
I'm wrecked.
You're wrecked.
All right.
All right. So why don't we jump right into our first topic of the day?
Sure.
Google makes its own $200 wireless router.
The OnHub.
So the original article, are you posting in the Twitch chat?
Sure.
Okay, you got this. So the original article here is from The Verge. I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you guys here, I think. I'm clicking news item. Nothing is happening. Where is my window? Screen capture. Over this. Boom. Maybe just well, let's just. I got this. This show sometimes works.
The show must go on.
Yes.
It's really not working.
What is happening?
Anyways, let's move.
There we go. Let's cover Luke with it. Get wrecked, Luke.
Yes.
Window delete. There we
the
go.
The OnHub is purely just a router, not a speaker or a few other things people thought. It looks kind of similar to the Amazon Echo.
Yeah, it looks like it could be like
the Echo,
a
so
home interactivity device.
Yes, but it's super not.
Doesn't work at all in Canada, which we found out the hard way. So here's kind of a funny story for everyone here, and I guess everyone who's watching the show, since everyone's kind of live at the moment. I went out of my way, I got myself a US address to ship it to, and I bought the remote that goes with it. I picked up an Amazon Echo. It sat on my table at home for like 2 weeks, because I was like, the way this has to be reviewed is kind of different. You have to make it part of your life. You can't just sit in front of it and go, Echo, tell me about leopards.
Well, its material quality isn't really that great,
exactly.
But I don't know, it could work in your computer.
Because you're reviewing a lifestyle product.
Yeah.
So I was like, Luke, I do not have time for this. Can you do the Echo? He goes, yeah, sure, that sounds right up my alley, and I have a week's vacation, and I was looking for something to work on from work anyway. So how'd that go for you?
It doesn't work in Canada. It literally only works in the States. So what I would have to do to be able to get it to work is get a US registered mobile device and then connect to it over Wi-Fi to actually set it up. The problem with that is I could like proxy out my router or do whatever, but it has to persistently be like that. So I'd have to like make my router think it was in the States for like a month. And that doesn't sound fun. So nope. And also it wouldn't be a proper fair review either, because it's designed to work in the States. So even if parts of it did work, it wouldn't be able to properly do a lot of its functions.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be able to properly say what the experience was like. So that's not gonna happen.
So we gave up. Welcome to one of the many stupid things that we waste our money on and that never even turned into a video. Because we thought, hey, maybe we can, a lot of the time we pull this off. We'll take something that's not gonna work and we'll just force it to work, and we'll make that stuff happen. But a lot of the time it just doesn't work out. Here's some cool news though. The OnHub we are definitely going to be able to do something with, and in fact I believe we are going to be getting one of the earliest samples.
Oh, so, that's cool.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
No. I didn't even know we were getting it, because not that long ago you said we weren't doing routers anymore.
Well, the thing that
a week.
The thing that I'm interested in about this is a couple of things. Number one is why Google thinks they need a router at all.
Yeah.
What they believe they bring to the table other than sitting between you and all of your possible internet traffic, that they can get whatever it is that they want to get out of that. Hopefully they're bringing some kind of a value proposition to the table, so I want to find out what it is.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't really seem extremely apparent at first.
Number two is I want to have a look at the performance, because the only thing that jumped into my mind that they might think that they add to the table is affordable performance. And $200 is still an expensive router, but if they can handle full gigabit well, which is a service they offer to their customers, then maybe there's a value to it. So I definitely do want to check it out, but I don't know how. It'd
also be interesting if you got it at like a cheaper cost if you signed up for their internet service at the same time.
I also really want to see if they have some kind of crazy Wi-Fi technology going on inside, because as you guys may or may not know, I'm not a huge fan of anything but the best Wi-Fi. And the stuff we have here, thank you for that, the stuff we have here is almost as good as it gets. This whole show is as good as it gets. But it's not the enterprise grade version. So we've got some stuff from Xclaim, which is a daughter company of Ruckus. So if we had Ruckus access points, which their top of the line goes for like $1,000 a pop, US.
They're really good, but
like they're awesome, but no, we're not putting like 4 of those in our office. If we had those, we probably could have handled everyone's Wi-Fi today, but we're all on one mid-grade unit today because my data terminations are not done in this side of the building. So I'm supposed to have one in each corner of the building, sort of. Like, it's more complicated than that. But I'm supposed to have at least 2 at the front here that I was hoping people would be able to use, and I only have 1 that's really in range. But I want to see what Google has managed to do in terms of Wi-Fi. So they're saying it's got 13 antennas inside, which would be used for beamforming and narrowing in on where exactly the devices are and hopefully getting better signal out of it. I mean, most companies just do it so poorly, though, that I've kind of given up on consumer-grade Wi-Fi. So if Google can't turn me around on this, then I guess this is it.
There's a few things that I actually really like from like a family IT dude perspective. So if you're the IT guy for like your immediate family and like your grandma and stuff, because one of the Google On apps that you can have on your phone allows you to set up people like a friend to help you remotely. So if your grandma is like, my router isn't working, I don't have the internet, you could remotely go in. You don't have to go to her house necessarily. So like if you should go visit your grandma, but like if you can't for whatever reason, she needs to get on the internet, you can fix it first and then you can go hang out with her and the internet. I think it's kind of cool being able to remotely fix things easily.
Hang out with the internet?
Yeah.
I guess that's basically
Do you
what
not
we're
hang
doing.
out with the internet?
I hang out with the internet all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
I never use Google Hangouts for it, though.
There's also really easy setup and whatnot, so if you've got a buddy who's looking for a router and doesn't really know network stuff and lives super far away from you, you can suggest this to him, maybe. If it's good.
Yeah, we gotta find out
know.
if it's easy. Everyone is always promising me, this network-attached storage device is easy. This router is easy. I promise, this time it's easy. It's never easy.
No. And one thing that's confusing is they're like, it's easier than 123 underscore lowercase c, capital F, lowercase j, lowercase p, lowercase x. What the hell is that?
Yeah,
that doesn't sound easy at all.
That's right from the OnHub page. So we're hoping for that's a funny joke.
Who
and
knows?
Google's actually really nailed it this time.
Yeah.
All right.
They didn't have to hire a designer because they just copied the Echo. It looks exactly like the
Hey-o!
Echo. It just has like a little divoted ring on the inside.
I mean, in their defense, the Echo basically just looks like that. Sorry? No, well, it does look like that D-Link router, but I was actually thinking of Logitech's Ultimate Ears Boom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, well, ours has less mesh or something.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
This is ours. It's unique. It's new.
It also has networking capability.
We changed everything again. It's a slightly different cylinder. Okay, moving on.
All right, so here's a bit of news out of Amazon. Jeff Bezos says that they will not tolerate callous management practices. So this article is from USA Today. Let's go ahead and drop the... Oh, look at somebody's sponsor message, something to do with weed whacking. Let's go ahead and
That's
drop the article. So some of the more memorable...
You know you can mow an entire lawn with a weed whacker?
Some of the more memorable anecdotes. I know that it was done once ever instead of weekly.
Never mind, continue.
So basically the question the article asks is, can I continue to support Amazon with my money? And there are some anecdotes about, working conditions at Amazon. A woman who had just lost a child in pregnancy was put on performance review for not giving her all to the company, apparently. Emails are sent out at all hours. Miss the midnight email, you get a text message a few minutes later asking why you haven't replied. Daily performance reviews are apparently standard, giving employees the opportunity to chime in and tear down others anonymously. So, some of these things are kind of, not too great. So this was an expose done by the New York Times. I mean, there's some stuff here that's like, quite frankly, I send out emails at all times of night. In fact, I have now officially sent out an email at night after hours asking for a reply at night after hours, but it was for their benefit. It was so that I wouldn't fire them.
I sent you a Hangouts at like 11:45 yesterday.
It was for their benefit. I actually gave the employees a bit of an early crack at the garage sale items. So I told them I needed to know what they wanted before we did the garage sale today. So, and I do send emails all times of night, but I generally don't expect a reply until the morning. So Amazon's founder says he doesn't recognize the company described, refers to shockingly callous management practices, and urges employees to contact HR or even him if any situation like that has occurred. He says even if it's rare or isolated, our tolerance for such a lack of empathy needs to be zero. So at the very least, they're dealing with it internally. I mean, this is something that is really good for me to hear because, as many of our viewers know, we do a shout out to Shop on Amazon at the end of almost all of our videos. And we are like a major Amazon affiliate partner. That's a huge, that's been a huge helper for us over the last couple of years since we started doing it. So for me to, find out that the company that, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you're in a particularly charitable mood and you're buying something on Amazon, you don't have to use our affiliate code. They've also got their, what's that program called? Smile, right?
Yes, Smile.
Yeah, Amazon Smile, where they'll actually contribute it to smaller percentage than they give affiliates.
I think you can do both.
Can you do both?
I think you can do Smile dot, because it's Smile dot, and then the tag is at the end.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you can do both.
At any rate, if you guys are looking for a way to contribute to a charity of your choice, you can actually pick your charity and use Smile to donate. I think it's 1 or 1.5% or something like that of your purchase value. So, they seem like pretty good guys. It seemed like a safe thing for us to call out all the time.
You hear this stuff about Valve and everybody.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there was that big thing with Valve employees sort of, blowing the lid off of, you think
it isn't as flat of a structure as you think it is, and it's just a boys' club and like all this kind of stuff. Like this happens from every company. It might be true to a certain degree. I'm sure a lot of it is true to a certain degree, but it's probably exaggerated when told in an interview.
Yeah, I mean, you always need to get both sides of any story.
Yeah.
So. Okay, Bitcoin could split in a debate over the currency's future, but not Dogecoin, right?
Yeah.
We gotta get our buddy with the Dogecoin shirt, pimping the Dogecoin. Come on. Dogecoin is united. Dogecoin will never fail. Yes.
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Dogecoin. So our article here is from the BBC. I love that shirt, man.
Yeah, it's great. Go away.
It needs more Doge meme on it, though. So there you go. Remember, guys, physical Bitcoin coins are not actually necessarily a thing. It's all digital, but some people did make them for lols, and people gathered them or something. So basically, what's going down is there's two sides to Bitcoin. So there's Bitcoin Core, the original, and wait, hold on a second. Okay, so they're on the side of increasing wallet size. Bitcoin XT, which is a slight variation, is lightweight wallets. So Bitcoin's creator said in 2010 it would be nice to keep the blockchain files small as long as we can. The eventual solution will be to not care how big it gets. When I eventually implemented client-only mode, that won't matter much anymore. But in recent months, it's become clear that a small group of people have a radically different plan for Bitcoin, and that's Bitcoin XT. I mean, what if people couldn't run Bitcoin on their home computers anymore? So some of the changes that they want are networks of payment, routing, hubs, or something along those lines, a sharp rise in fees. They want to end support for mobile P2P wallets and give up on unconfirmed transactions. So it's unknown if people would migrate. I mean, I think the whole digital currency thing continues to be what it is. It's unproven until
except
it's
for Dogecoin.
Proven. Except for Dogecoin, in which we all trust.
Yes.
The limit of the current system will allegedly be reached by 2017, so we've still got a year plus to figure out how this is all going to go down. But, I guess the thing that I don't really see as any different really here is it's yet another competing cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
you go.
And they're all failing. And honestly, Bitcoin hasn't really been doing that great lately either. So.
I mean, it had to settle down. The gold rush couldn't go on forever.
But I kind of hoped that it would ride long enough that people would actually care. Like, because there's a problem with it's hard to spend in a lot of different places. Like, someone here was like, why don't you accept Bitcoin? I was like, well, because it would have taken a little bit to set up, because none of us have wallets except for me, and you don't want them to give me money. I wish you did, but it doesn't work like that at companies.
Well, it's also complicated, because then that would be personal income to you, which then you're
we could set you up a
for...
wallet. It wouldn't be that hard, but then like there's gonna be like 2 people that use it, and then you guys have to convert it. And if you take a while to convert it and it falls, then it's worth less money, and then blah, 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 blah.
I mean, it's one of those things we've meant to kind of do forever, but it's just easier to not. I mean, honestly, I hashtag got wrecked by the Bitcoin gold rush, because back when I was working at NCIX, like, I had access to, even though I didn't really like have my own building to store it in, and it wasn't like all like mine sort of, but I had access to all kinds of awesome gear. Like back when Bitcoins were pretty easy to mine and it was just taking off. And I actually went and I set up a mining rig, and I was just like, hey, well, I could set it up at the office and we'll make like a tech tips about it, and I'll just get my boss's permission. So I literally wouldn't have been paying for hardware, wouldn't have been paying for electricity even, and could have mined myself a whack ton of Bitcoins, because I had probably 12 to 24 graphics cards and test benches to match. Could have just filled that crap up. But like before people started, covering walls in their garages with Bitcoin mining rigs. And I got like a bad stick of RAM in the test bench or something, and it something, and I just got lazy and I was like, screw it.
That would have been huge, because he's right. It was right before the first big boom where it jumped up to like, what was it, $250 or something? So they were still worth almost nothing, and mining them, you got a ton back then. Yeah. So he would have got like...
I could have probably made tens and tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, like actually.
So I don't reject Bitcoin because I'm bitter, though. But I am a little bitter. It's just not why I don't bother with it. I don't bother with it for the same reasons that I never bothered with it. I'm just clearly short-sighted.
It's cool. It's just, I think cryptocurrency will totally be a thing at some point. I just think it's not right now.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that some more forward-thinking companies are at least trying to adapt their laws to account for it. Others are just completely ignoring it. We'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah.
But, so let's move on to our next topic, I guess. Oh, poor Twitch chat. I am ignoring them even more than usual. Everyone's posting salt emojis.
It's because you're...
Me.
It makes a ton of sense.
Yes, it does. Thanks for that, Twitch
You're
chat.
salty.
Every single time, I'm like, I haven't been paying enough attention to Twitch chat. Let's give Twitch chat some love. They make me regret it. Every time. Every time. All right. So I'm just going to post I got this one.
Oh,
did you do it already?
It's sitting right there.
You were ready.
The one time I'm ready.
Research lab goof results in 4 times longer lithium-ion battery working life. So some scientists at Tsinghua University in Beijing and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston have been working on techniques to extend the working life of lithium-ion batteries. Now, to be clear, this particular research is not to make your phone last for, 3 or 4 days. This particular technology is to make the battery last for enough recharge cycles that you can keep it for longer than a couple of years. So this is cool, because basically what happened is they were working on making the anodes of the battery more durable, because that's the part that decays the fastest. And that's why after a few hundred charge cycles, you see a really sharp drop off, and all of a sudden, it's 2 o'clock and you're at, 40% battery life. That's why that happens. Oh, and there's a train.
Rude. So rude.
Thank you.
I
Thank
wonder
you.
what that sounds like.
Thank
for
you.
Twitch.
We can hear you. Everything is good. Oh, this was for you.
I was supposed
This
to throw it
from
at
Matt.
you.
Oh, no, this is mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yay! That was yeah.
You armed us both.
That's weird.
All right, so
They're
basically,
cool, though.
a batch of anodes was left under chemical treatment for several hours
Wow,
more
that's rich.
than they should have, completely by accident. And remember, guys, when you're doing lab work, you're often working with chemicals and like engineering, like pre-engineering sample grade hardware that is unbelievably expensive to produce. I mean, you guys have no idea. Even something as simple and stupid as a computer case. And I don't mean computer cases are stupid. I mean, they're made of materials we basically understand. You got a plastic bezel. You got your steel chassis. You fold it up. Pretty much, right? I mean, we're not talking, we want the battery to last for 4 times longer. We're gonna completely re-engineer a new compound. So the stuff they're working with is expensive. To screw up a batch could cost hundreds or maybe thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what they're working on. So instead of throwing them away, someone probably got a slap on the wrist, but they decided to test them. And the results were great. 4 times more durable than the current best available technology. So they've been working on using aluminum in preference to graphite. It expands and contracts more, so in effect, these cells...
Wait, let me get this right.
Okay.
They can't just fold the metal?
Fold the metal. No, this is not a computer
Okay.
case.
Okay. I just need to make sure they couldn't just fold the metal.
To be very clear, they can't just injection mold the plastic
And then fold the metal.
and then fold the metal
Okay.
on the other side.
All right. Cool.
So basically, by soaking it in sulfuric acid and titanium oxysulfate, which replaces the aluminum oxide from the aluminum being exposed. I don't know if you guys know
In the
this.
air.
Aluminum rust is white, and it oxidizes almost immediately. That's why most people don't even know that aluminum rusts. If you polish it and clear coat it, you can actually make a very efficient mirror out of aluminum. Very interesting, stupid fact that no one cares about. But the reason it always looks like rubbish is because it oxidizes almost immediately just from being exposed to open air. So pretty much it has a much more conductive titanium oxide coating effectively now, which provided exactly the desired results completely by accident. Very, very cool.
So epic.
Awesome stuff.
That guy, instead of getting fired, got a promotion.
Maybe
Hooray.
you got fired and then a promotion.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you've been fired lots of times. I'm sure I promoted you at some point.
Yep.
Now we have a pretty flat
I
structure
know from
here,
first
actually.
hand experience that it's awesome.
It's awesome. So LG's new Nexus 5 has leaked. I guess Google has heard our cries about the Nexus 6 not being a Nexus 5. Wait, what's the stupid thing called? Is it even called the Nexus 6? I don't know, that phone that I didn't care about that I
Yes,
reviewed.
Yeah.
It is the Nexus 6, right? The one that was too big.
Their numbers are just bad, and they should
Yeah.
probably feel bad, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
They should just call it, I don't even know what they would call it, anyway, the point is, they heard us. We don't all want a huge phone. Some of us have tiny hands. Some of us don't.
To be fair, though, I don't even like phones that are that huge. What is, let me see. Like my G3, which is not on me because it's charging, is like borderline too large. Not because I don't like the big screen, but because most of the time I'm just typing on it anyways.
You mean Z3?
And yes, Z3, sorry. Did I say
Neither of us
E3?
are, you said G3.
G3.
Which is a phone that
Yeah.
you did have at one point,
And I
think.
don't anymore. I had the G2.
Yeah.
Anyways, and being able to type on it with one hand is helpful. I can do that with the Z3, but it's easier on a slightly smaller phone.
So there you go, a tweet from our main man over at MKBHD. I mean, can we really say he's at MKBHD? He is on Twitter, but do you really work at MKBHD?
Isn't that his thing now?
He's one guy though.
But doesn't he run MKBHD? Isn't that
Oh, yeah.
actually his
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah.
So he's
So Marcus from MKBHD, sure, why not?
the guy,
Yeah, Marcus.
the one.
So basically, it looks like it's going to have a camera bump. It looks like it's going to say Nexus on the back. I hope they remove this not for sale printing. That's really an eyesore.
I like it.
You like it?
Because you know what? My phone isn't for sale. I don't want you to have my personal information. I don't want you to buy my phone.
I don't know.
If I put my phone down at like Starbucks, I don't want someone to be like, "Yo, can I buy it?"
Yeah, but I don't think Google's were going to be down with that because everything on your phone, it's ours.
Good point. All right. Maybe they don't want me to sell it because they want to keep harvesting my
Maybe
data.
that's what's special about it, just for Marquez. He was like, "Look,
It's the one.
I'll review the new Nexus 5, but you can't have my data. I want it right on the phone, not for sale."
This is only mine.
Speaking of not for sale, spots on our show are for sale.
Yay!
If you're Squarespace.
Yay! Build it beautiful.
Yes, thank you. That is their slogan for the last time. Okay.
I have to make sure that every single person that ever watches the WAN show knows. I should just say it as the opening line now.
Of the WAN
You're like,
show.
"Hey, it's gonna be a good show," and I'll be like, "Build it beautiful."
So when Squarespace isn't even a sponsor, you're just gonna go and do it. Okay, so Squarespace, if you guys are watching, and I'm pretty sure you are, our Squarespace contact legit watches the show, which I discovered when we had that phenomenally embarrassing situation where Luke told me his mom's site was hosted on Squarespace. So we had the entire WAN show audience hit it all at the same time. It goes down, and it's hosted on like dog hosting or some stupid thing, and it's down, and I'm like,
alligator.
"You have got, I don't care. Whatever it is, it's some kind of animal that doesn't work hard enough." So,
Oh my god.
super unhappy, and they were watching, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." So Squarespace, if you're watching, can you get a new slogan, maybe just for us, so he can shut up with the Build It Beautiful thing?
They should make it Build It More Beautiful.
But So, I mean, that is it in a nutshell. Squarespace, Build It Beautiful. They're all about people making beautiful websites and putting them on the internet with their tools and their website hosting. It comes in affordable plans all the way up to pretty darn beefy plans. You pick from one of their templates. You can make a blog. You can make a, portfolio. You can make, an informational site about, your company, like LinusMediaGroup.com, where all these people found our address, presumably, to come and hang out with us at this live meetup. Also, there was a link in the forum, which is not a Squarespace site because they don't have a forum template, but that's a whole other thing. And the link wasn't broken. You weren't signed in. Bam.
Oh.
Whoa! So pretty much that's all there is to it. Squarespace.com. Make an awesome website that runs great on your computer, your phone, whatever else. And if you use offer code Linus on your first purchase, you will save 10%. And iFixit is not a new sponsor today, but they do. Can you be my Vanna?
Oh. Yes.
He lives for the moments when he can be my Vanna.
Okay.
So, use offer code WAN to save $10 off a purchase at iFixit.com. They have all kinds of great guides for disassembling and reassembling and fixing phones and tablets and computers and laptops, which are technically computers. And also, phones and tablets are technically computers too. I mean, anything that computes is a computer.
You're
my computer.
Oh.
Oh, what a moment. So this is their all new small business like toolbox thing. So it's got their screwdriver set, which is kind of like if you got the ProTech toolkit, which is also in here, and I'll show you guys that later, then you'll probably have noticed that you can stick a thing through the hole, if you know what I mean, and twist it that way, but sometimes you can't get enough torque. So these ones are all rubber coated, so they're a little bit better if you need a little bit more torque action there. Let's go ahead and what else we got in here? They told me to familiarize myself with this kit before we started. I didn't, so here we go. We have an anti-static wrist strap, as well as a safe anti-static mat. Check this out. So your wrist strap actually clips right in there. So you got a safe workstation. No tech toolkit is complete without a multimeter. So you want to, we've used stuff like this for even the most mundane thing. Like, you don't have to be an electrical engineer to need a multimeter. Like EVGA had a Kingpin graphics card that we were overclocking, and we were like, Are these voltage adjustments even working? Are we even running the right BIOS for this?
Some dude bought it. That graphics card, someone bought it.
Today?
We sold it today.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we were able to use the multimeter to validate that we got the LN2 BIOS on correctly and that the voltage was actually adjusting. So that's cool. What the devil is this?
It's called an eye opener. I actually don't know. I know you're supposed to heat it
Oh,
up.
yes.
I'm assuming it melts like glue and stuff.
Yes, so these are fantastic. You heat it up, and then if you've got like an adhesive behind a screen or whatever, it gets hot enough to melt the adhesive and make it easier to remove, but not so hot that like you're pointing a heat gun at your device and probably cooking it. This, the ProTech Toolkit, has every bit under the sun. Your tri-wings, your security Torxes, your triangle bits. You can take apart pretty much anything with this puppy. We've got the screen and lens cleaner.
That's hard to hear. Take this.
Ah, yes, I love this puppy.
It's dangerous to go alone.
The magnetic project mat. We've already shown this before because this is the one that I used when I did the iMac disassembly. Because there were like friggin' 16, 20 different types of screws in there. So it comes with a pen with an eraser. You write what all the stuff you have on, then you put the screws on and it's magnetic. What else is in here? They have everything in here. Suction cups for pulling screens off of, heavy screens off of things without dropping them or like slicing yourself open. Repair manifesto. Oh, that's cute. Okay, well that's more of a swag item. Cleaning cloth. Other more rugged microfiber cleaning cloth, like a textured one and a non-textured one. A puff thing for sticking in your eye and drying it out whenever you need your eyes to be dry because you cry too much.
Or for dusting things, whatever.
Cleaning brush, as well as one of their handy-dandy, slice the adhesive that's between the thing that you can't get at. More prying tools, extras for the ones that come in the ProTech Toolkit. How many friggin' things are in here? A bunch of opening picks. They're kind of like guitar picks, but special for opening. More pry tools. More pry tools. More pry tools. They're plastic cards. Next time you don't want to ruin your debit card or your gym membership prying something open, they have special prying cards for that. Are we done? Seriously? Okay, someone has to take this home today. An iron-on, hand with a wrench, repair person badge. First one to say Luke's last name. There you are. Get on up here. You're a certified repairman now. Or woman. You have long hair, I couldn't tell. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a beard.
Hey, ladies can have a beard too, and that's okay.
Yep.
I don't know, I was reading some article. Some actress was upset by Hollywood beauty standards. She refused
I literally didn't
wax
know it
her
was
mustache.
possible.
Yeah.
And then I
Especially the
brought it up in
mustache.
some conversation, like, no, it's obviously not, because there's a beard. My mom was like, I shave. I was like, oh,
There you go.
that makes sense.
Today you learned.
Yeah. Next up, actually, we
Dollar-
started recommending Dollar Shave Club stuff.
Dollar
to
Shave Club.
women as well. It makes sense.
All right, we got Google's Project Sunroof. So do you want to cover this one?
I'm so excited by this. This is so cool. Okay, so what Google's planning to do, they're doing it in 3 different cities right now. I don't remember what ones, so GG, but there's not that
Vancouver,
many.
unfortunately,
No,
so we're
they're
not
only
that
in the
excited
States.
yet.
Yes, they're only in the States. The idea is that they're using data from Google Maps to figure out basically what the sun value is of your house. I just came up with that word.
Sun
But basically, how much of your roof will get sun for how long, and how much power and money that will save you if you get solar panels installed, so that you can figure out things like, should you get solar panels installed? It'll also help you figure out how much that will cost. So it can survey companies in your area, and it can actually recommend ones to you, tell you how much it'll cost to install, tell you how long it's going to be until you've paid off your investment, tons of stuff. So basically the idea is taking a lot of the confusion out of getting solar panels installed on your house and making it a lot easier in terms of barrier of entry for people, making it make a lot more sense, so it does all the hardcore math for you and it solves all the complicated problems, which I think is great because solar panels are cool. If we can get the Strata to accept it, I really want to put solar panels on our roof.
So,
But we'd have to get the Strata to accept it.
yeah, Strata's going to have to be down for it. I'm really not sure how that works. We're new to
Stratas
this.
don't really... And we just did this, so I don't know how many
Yeah.
good books we're in right now.
I have no idea how many emails. We took kind of an ask forgiveness, not permission approach to the meetup today. So for those of you who weren't here live, who are watching, we had probably as many as probably about 300 people here at one point. Like, it was bananas. You guys think more than 300? Okay, well, we had a ton of people. Like, we had a lineup for the garage sale down the block. We had a lineup for tours of the office, which we are going to continue to do after the show today. That was down to the lineup for the garage sale.
Yeah.
So we have no idea how stoked they are on us. Fortunately, we've already got the Strata's approval for my Big Linus Media Group sign that's going to be going on the front of the building. I picked up the permit for that on...
You need a permit for that?
Yeah, yesterday.
I hate Stratas.
I picked up the... No, we had a city permit too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had to get approval from the Strata, then we had to get a permit.
That could make sense because it could fall off the building.
Yeah,
but like
I
Stratas are
guess
so frustrating.
But like... I mean, fortunately...
Like, they wouldn't let us cover the windows. We need to cover the windows for, like, lighting for
They
filming.
said that we have to get approval. They didn't say no. They just said that we have to bring it up at a meeting.
Okay. The fact that you have to bring it up on a meeting to put covers inside your own building is nuts.
The good news is that we're occupying 3 of the 8 units in this building, which gives us an awful lot of votes.
That's helpful, yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's
we just got to make sure we don't piss off literally everyone, which
Yes.
we might have just done. So.
So let's go ahead and.
Does he have his own? Yes.
Awesome, thank you so much. I have been talking so much today, and those.
You. That's awesome. I know this man. Sorry. Keep going.
So it's finally happened. An actual fashion watch brand has gotten around to doing a smartwatch. Fossil unveils its Intel-powered Android Wear watch, flat tire display in tow. So let's. So these are just some. These are just some not actually Android Wear. These are typical Fossil watches. All right, bippity boppity. There it is. So. Yeah, it kind of looks like a Moto 360.
It super looks like a Moto 360.
Yeah, well, I said kind of because I'm a generous person.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's a Moto 360.
So basically, it's kind of shinier. Also, it has like beveling and crap.
And hopefully the battery lasts longer.
I mean, the thing about a watch
It's Android Wear.
is that there's really not a whole lot you can do with it.
With Android Wear.
Yeah, you can go square, or you can go round.
Because like saying watch in general is not really fair.
Or you can
'Cause
have
there's a
a-
lot you can do with a mechanical
You
watch.
could have a rubber strap, or like a leather one, or like maybe it could come with 2 straps.
Whoa.
And you could change them out.
Whoa.
So, I mean, I get it. It's not really that different. So they also showed off some other stuff, a fitness band, a semi-smartwatch, and then the fully fledged smartwatch. I think the technology has to continue to progress a little bit. I mean, Samsung and LG are both showing off transparent OLED displays that are capable of in the neighborhood of 50% plus or minus transparency. I mean, I think that's when you're going to capture a lot of people. When you can put a really thin transparent display over top of what is otherwise a beautifully crafted mechanical watch, that's when you're going to get a lot of attention.
And I know there's that one company that's done it that everyone always links us when we say this every time, and they're like not good. They're just not.
You're not feeling charitable today.
No, but it's true. I don't know. Like, I'm feeling charitable because Google's Sunroof thing is fantastic. I'm not feeling charitable because that watch is trash.
Ouch.
It is, though.
Ouch.
Look it up. Everyone that buys
know.
one is like, yeah, this thing is terrible.
Yeah,
I
I
wish
know.
I didn't waste my money. So I don't want to help other people waste their money.
Fair enough.
That doesn't seem like
I mean,
a
it's
good
not
idea.
really what we do.
No.
So there you go. There's no word on the hardware inside the Android smartwatch from Fossil, the battery life, pricing, or the release time frame. One thing that I will say is if they don't have an always-on display, it's getting a negative review from me if it gets one at all. It might just get a mention on WAN Show. Hey,
What
they
if it's-
screwed up yet another one.
What if it's one of the transparent ones and the screen is off unless you do a
I'm
hand-
okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that. I mean, for me, the big thing is just I want to be able to see, and I know I made that awful joke in my Apple Watch review, which ended up even more awkward because of Ed's editing on that. That was pretty cringe right there. But it is a perfectly valid point. The time when I realized that motion gestures were ridiculous was when I was laying on my back and my son was playing a game with me, like he was going for a daddy ride, and I was like, oh, I wonder what time it is. and I was using the Apple Watch, and I couldn't look up the time because you have to be upright and do it like this, like this. Repeat after me, like this, to see the time. No, it's ridiculous. It's
that
just
motion
ludicrous.
reminded me of that super old school Apple like 1984 commercial when they're walking through and they're all watching the screen and stuff. They're becoming what they hated.
So that's what I need to see, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, I'd like to do something a little bit special, and I'm actually going to kick Luke off the show for a bit here. Normally, we do, well, not quite. No, don't go anywhere. Okay. Well, no, don't sit down either. Okay. So normally, when we want to get like questions or comments from the audience, we take to Twitter. But the audience is here. So I would like for Luke to be my doorman here, and if anyone would like to come and do a live Twitter blitz, and well, get over here. Don't be shy. Don't put up your hand like some kind of polite person. What do you think this is, Canada?
We have one candidate. Come here, sir.
Yeah, come on in.
Show.
Come on in. So what do you got?
All right, so Linus, what was it like to invent Linux?
What was it like to invent Linux? Well, gee, get out of here for one thing. And thank you for your question. I did not invent Linux. Common misconception, especially, yeah, you're wearing a Tech Syndicate shirt. Did he send you? No. So, common misconception, especially on Reddit/r/PC Master Race, where it's like I have my own tag, and people are like every time there's like one with upvotes. It's like, I came here expecting the other Linus. I was disappointed. I'm sorry, I can't be him. I just make YouTube videos. Anyone else? Come on, don't be shy. Guys, make a line.
Yes,
don't put up
first,
your
let's
hand.
go.
So you moved first. All right, what do you got? Live
Everybody
Twitter
come to this
blitz.
yellow
Hello?
lined area.
Hello.
Linus,
Yes,
what
I'm
about
here.
your company?
I'm listening.
What about your company do you like the most, and what do you like the least?
All right, thank you. Okay, you can go. The thing I like the most is working with a team of people that I handpicked. It's really, it is the reason. Yeah, let's just get the people.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Luke.
Do your thing.
It's really different from working somewhere where, you know, your new subordinate or your new peer or your new boss might be selected by someone else. And, you know, I'm not saying that my years at NCIX were bad in any way. I learned so much. And I'm incredibly grateful to everyone from the president of the company up there who, by the end of my time at NCIX, I reported to directly. I'm grateful to everyone from him down to, you know, the guys in the warehouse that made sure that my orders got counted correctly and labeled correctly and shipped to the customers on time. Like, it was such an amazing learning experience. But Linus Media Group, the greatest thing about it is the people here. Every one of them is handpicked by me, so I have no one to blame but myself if it doesn't work out. And we have an incredible team here, absolutely world class. I mean, I think the results speak for themselves. Since Linus Tech Tips has gone indie and is under the banner of Linus Media Group, our growth has gone like this. So, yeah, that's what I love about Linus Media Group. I think the worst thing about it is can I help you? They're great other than throwing things at me. I mean, that's another great thing about it. We have a really great work dynamic. You know, people, I see a lot of comments like, Linus is the worst boss ever. He's such a jerk. He's such a troll. You guys gotta understand, I get that back from these guys. This is the kind of company where you can legitimately shoot your boss with a Nerf gun in the head, and it's cool. Don't go get a gun right now. The worst thing about it, I think, is probably the hours. I thought that compared to my job as a product manager, it couldn't get any worse. But it is worse. I mean, a lot of people think YouTube's easy and you just like stand in front of a camera for 10 minutes and then you just throw it up on the internet. It used to be easy, out of necessity. That's why I did unboxings, because they were easy. And I could do an unboxing in one take, no problem. A lot of the time, not always. Sometimes I broke things or whatever. But the point is that because we've tried to really amp up what we're doing in every possible way, every additional body that we add here is all about increasing quality, making what we're doing more and better. So the hardest part is how much work it is. All right, what's your name?
My name's Daniel. 2 years ago, you guys were working out of a house. Linus Media Group just got started, and now you're here. What do you see year 2, maybe 3 in the future?
Wow, it's a great question, and go away. That's a great question, and it's one that unfortunately I don't have a crystal ball that is amazing enough to answer, because if you had asked me 2.5 years ago when we started this, when we were working out of the garage at my house, if you'd asked me where I saw Linus Media Group 2.5 years from now, well, actually, no, I didn't even think about that. I thought about 5 years. And 5 years, when it was just 3 of us, it was me, Luke, and Ed. And if you asked me 5 years, I would have said, well, I mean, 5, maybe 6 people. And like, you know, we'll do better unboxings and we'll have like more channels. We'll kind of do unboxings of tech, and then maybe we'll do like unboxings of like tools or cars or other things. Like we'll have like the unboxing network. That would have been my vision. Here we are 2.5 years in. We have either 10 or 11 people. We're in an actual studio. We don't do unboxings anymore, really. And our new channels are things like Channel Super Fun, where we're pitting dildos against each other. one against one. It's a race to the finish line. Like, who can predict that stuff?
Can I change my title to Dildo Engineer?
No. Too late. Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. And if you'd asked me when we moved into the house studio, I'd have told you that was easily going to last us 5 years. We made it for 2. And that place was bursting at the seams. What's your name?
Andrew,
All right. Andrew, what's your question?
how would you compare the work style at the old house office compared to your new office?
So, thank you. Go away. And I don't mean go away. You can stay close enough to hear the answer. No, Andrew, come back. No, I mean, no, don't sit down. Right there is fine. So the workflow is not yet established here. I'm gonna have a video coming really soon about the way that we're gonna handle footage and transcoding it, and people who went on the tour with me might know a little bit about this. The workflow in terms of shooting is gonna be way tidier, much tidier. I don't understand.
You're supposed to throw it or give it to someone.
Oh, free shirt! Woo! I'm looking over here. It's going over there. Oh, am I doing more swag shirts? Ah! So the main thing I expect in the new workflow is organization, because in the past we had one place where like sometimes I was actually testing hardware and then I was filming like the main video, and then I'd have to get my crap out of there, and Brandon had to move his cameras in and shoot B-roll. There was just no room for anything. So we're gonna actually have things go from inventory with a real system for tracking that, to testing, to shooting, to B-roll, and then back to inventory. I expect organization. That's the biggest difference.
Awesome.
All right, next. Sup? Welcome to the WAN show.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Maxwell. About a month and a half ago, you guys got to about 8,600 viewers, and you're like, oh my god, we're almost over 9,000. And then you guys said, well, this is going to be a great idea. Like, how about we have a huge surprise show when we get over 9,000 viewers? And then you guys ended up getting to like 10K a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't find out what the idea was that I've been waiting for. So what was the great idea for over 9,000 viewers on a WAN show?
I don't know. Hey, Luke, did we ever figure out what we were going to do for over 9?
He asked me this before we came in, so I was wondering if you knew.
No, I don't
No,
remember.
We apparently said that. I don't remember saying it at all. But
Yeah.
we apparently said that, and I have no idea.
Hold on.
Maybe. But do we have any?
No. We totally forgot. Thank you for asking.
We can do it though.
I think I might know, but it might have been. Okay, I'll just tell you. It might have been like blonde spiky wigs.
Like Super Saiyan?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that might have been the idea, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
So sorry, we failed you.
That's all right.
All right, who's next?
I think we didn't expect it to happen very quickly.
No, I don't know if I ever expected it to happen. But WAN show's kind of been like that. Like the first time we broke 1,000 viewers, I was like, whoa! And now we're sitting at 8,900 for a Twitter blitz. Well, sort of Twitter. Are you even on Twitter?
Barely.
There you go. All right, what's up?
I was wondering which of your employees you think works the hardest.
Wow, me.
That's pretty good. That's all.
It's Brandon. It's Brandon. It's Brandon. 100%.
Could be Brandon. Could be Brandon. Could be Luke. Could be Nick. You know what? Everyone here works really hard. If they didn't, they wouldn't last. Period. We had one guy who lasted like 2 weeks, and he fell asleep at work once and stuff. And so our culture is one of work extremely hard, play extremely hard, but everyone here works incredibly hard. Who's next?
I hope I last 2 weeks. It's a two-person thing.
Oh.
So Linus, when's the next meetup happening?
Wow, great question. So the last time I did a formal meetup, I think was
Hey, he's mine. Get out. Get out. Get out.
the last time I did a formal, like an actually formal meetup, I think was an NCIX event where we had 3 projectors, 3D projectors, running an NVIDIA Surround powered by a couple of GTX 590s. That was BA. And I only probably had like 30 people show up for that, so I kind of gave up on them. Kingston HyperX Paintball was sort of a meetup, but it was also, yeah, the guys that were there were awesome. It was also like a shoot. And so the people that came had to like be in a video and stuff. So, okay, I had forgotten about that one because that day was a freaking blur. I was coordinating a meetup, like starring in the video and coordinating the video shoot all in one day. Like it was bananas. Yeah, yes. I did not intend for shoot to be a pun, but I'm glad it happened. Did I do one at PAX 2013?
You did.
Oh, okay. That was like the photo booth thing. I wouldn't call that a formal meetup. It was like, yeah.
You should just get the WAN bus and go across Canada.
Yeah, we totally need a WAN bus.
Yeah.
As long as we don't accidentally put a G on the end.
Oh,
Then
the WAN bus.
Yeah. Yeah, the WAN bus. Okay, what do you got?
Where do you see Linus Tech Tips in 5 years?
Where do I see? Okay, great question. Go away. And let's get the next one right in there. Let's get these going quick. So, Linus Tech Tips in 5 years. I don't even know about 5 years, but I'll do 2 years, okay? So, YouTube. I have seen many YouTube personalities come and go throughout my like I've never really done the explosive exponential growth thing, but I've also never leveled off. It's always been like a slow and steady wins the race, and I've seen a lot of guys that I used to look up to and wonder how I could ever be as big as them. I've seen a lot of those guys fall behind in terms of their YouTube audience anyway. And I think there are a lot of different reasons it's happened. You know, YouTube has changed. The audience has changed. The technology has changed. Everything is always changing. And the old formula is not going to work forever. And that is why, even though it was a huge risk, we killed unboxings. We stopped doing unboxings. That was our bread and butter. It was the single most viewed and therefore profitable thing that we did as a company. And here I was. I took this enormous leap of faith. I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. That means the audience must be tired of it if I'm tired of it. So let's do it. Let's kill it. All we do now is reviews and projects and showcases. So we killed unboxings. We switched to almost entirely reviews at that time. We are actually in the middle of yet another reinvention right now. Some of you might have noticed. We are going to be gradually, we're still going to do reviews, but we are gradually making it not all about the reviews. I see him. I have a preview of the video right in front of me. We are gradually moving away from just reviews to more projects and like crazy over the top showcases and stuff, and more of making Linus Tech Tips. Like this is like the dream for me. Making Linus Tech Tips a show about technology rather than a technology unboxing or review show. So I don't want it to live within the confines of this is what we do. I want us to just do whatever it is, and I want people to watch it and enjoy it. And that is why I have expanded our staff and grown the company the way that I have. Because if it was still just me, or just me and a camera person, something like Scrapyard Wars is impossible. Because that takes a big crew of people to make happen. It takes an enormous amount of time. Stuff like New Office Vlog, which kind of accidentally turned into kind of a reality show that everyone loved, would have been impossible. Stuff like Luke wants to do, where we DIY solar panels on the roof of the office, would be impossible if we didn't have our own paid camera crew on staff in the office every day. So, it's so cliched, but I really want Linus Tech Tips to be a technology show the same way that Top Gear is a car show. It's not a car show. It's just a show. Not anymore, it's anything, but what it was an entertaining show with great personalities, and the cars were happy to be along for the ride. So that's what I want this to be, and I think that the group that we've built here and the workflow that we've built here will enable us to do that, and that's what I want Linus Tech Tips to be. What can I do for you?
Linus, why are there no fire poles in the new place?
There are no fire poles because it was hard enough to get our safety inspection passed with a handrail on that stupid staircase, let alone a fire pole on the outside of it.
So, what's your favorite series that you've ever done?
My personal favorite. Great question. Wow. My personal favorite. It's got to be Scrapyard Wars. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's a lot of fun to watch. Even though, because I'm in a lot of our videos, but Scrapyard Wars is so fun for me to watch because it's like the highlight reel of that enormous amount of time that I spent on it for me, and I get to enjoy the struggle and the triumph that's going on opposite me that I'm completely oblivious to the whole time. So it's a lot of fun for me to watch.
What would you have done if Darren died?
Darren? Who's Darren specifically? I know a lot of...
No?
Oh, Darren the 3D printer. Well, Darren did die. Fortunately, Luke resurrected him. So we're changing his name to Lazarus Lafreniere, and Darren we're changing to Lazarus. Luke's name we're changing to something hopefully unoffensive. So let's just move on from that question. What can I do for you? Nice shirt.
Thanks. In the little time that you get to have...
Now they can see your shirt.
In the little free time that you get to have, what is your favorite thing to do?
I have very little time for anything. In the little time that I have, my kids are the light of my life. So, yeah, my kids are awesome. That's what I do when I'm not here. And sometimes I eat.
How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you
Good.
for asking.
My question is about ant venom, actually.
Really?
What were your thoughts on when he said he was going to come and then his flight being canceled?
I was super bummed out because ant venom is such an amazing Linus Tech Tips fan. I don't know if you guys know, Ant Venom's got 2 million bazillion subscribers on YouTube. Big deal. He was gonna show up and I was like, wow, that would be super cool to have other huge content creators show up at our fan event as a huge bonus for the people here and just for me to shoot the breeze with, because living in Vancouver, there's not a lot of huge YouTubers here and huge streamers here. It's a pretty desolate place. There are a couple, but if I wanna hang out with guys that are absolutely huge and guys that are totally in my headspace, Ant Venom is one of the few that exists out there. And what I mean by totally in my headspace is it's funny because gamers and IT technophiles they're kind of like, they're like the Venn diagram, right? Like there's the overlap, but a lot of the time the guys building the beast gaming rigs are not actually hardcore gamers, like me, and the guys that are the hardcore gamers are not that tech savvy. They just buy a pre-built machine and it's done, right? So Ant Venom actually took our whole room water cooling concept, amped it up a notch, and has his gaming machine on a separate floor of his house with his radiator in the basement, but he did it up right. He took everything we learned, every mistake we made, and he published a video on his gaming-centric channel of his recreation of whole room water cooling, which works. It actually gets the heat out of the room successfully because he didn't use a huge array of copper tubing to do it. He's just got a nice short run right through the floor. He used a plastic reservoir, a lesson that we learned about anti-corrosive additives and how they don't always work. So his video is badass. I was hoping for him to be here and hang out on the WAN show, but hey, the effort totally counts, and Ant, we're sorry you couldn't be here. All right, you're up.
So how scary was it to take a chance and start your own business doing what you do?
It was mortifying. I mean, this is something I'm not sure if I've talked about before, but Linus Media Group almost completely ran out of money 4 months in. So I don't know if you guys are super business savvy, but the way that it works is even if you have a sponsor like Intel or whoever, especially a big sponsor, they don't expect to prepay for things. So they expect to reach an agreement, sign a contract, like, okay, we're gonna have you mention our product in the first 30 seconds of your video 10 times in the month of, February. And then once you've executed the contract, they expect what's called net terms. So that is, they pay after completion. That gives them time to process it in accounting and get, the necessary signatures and all that stuff. And I get it. But it means that even though Linus Media Group was working hard to obtain sponsors and all that stuff, all without selling out. I mean, that's the thing is, sellout is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but it has a meaning that people don't understand. Sellout doesn't mean you make money. We make money, but sellout means making money by compromising your values. So we have never taken money from Blue to review this microphone. That will not happen. We can take money from Blue to put their microphone in front of our camera while we host the WAN show. That is sponsorship. That is a product placement. That is completely separate. We will give a bad review to a sponsor if they submit a product to us for a review. We have to keep our content, which has no value to our viewers and therefore no value to a future sponsor. I mean, even if I was a terrible person, I can't sell out on a product review because I have to be smart enough to know that if my audience can be, 10 years from now, my audience could be 10 times the size, then I should be able to get 10 times the sponsors. But my audience isn't gonna grow if I give you people bad advice about technology and tell you the wrong thing. Even if I was a terrible money is the only important thing to me person, I still wouldn't do it. So we had to, even though we ran out and we got sponsors, it's harder if you're not willing to sell out because you have to be like, look, this guarantees you no special treatment. Nothing. You get nothing other than the advertising spot that we promise. That's what you get. That's it. So we did it anyway. It was hard work, but we did it. But I still had to wait anywhere from 30 to 120 days for my first paychecks. Aside from things like YouTube, which roll in monthly, but isn't as much as you'd think. And I took a risk. Luke and Ed both took a risk too. They dropped out of their programs in school because I promised that I would get the money to pay them and support them and we'd make a real company out of this thing. So they both went for it and I went for it. And in April of the first year of Linus Media Group, we almost completely ran out of money. Like, out. Like, done. Like, we were down to double digits in the account. I didn't have another payroll, and then the checks started arriving. So, it was down to the wire for us. It was terrifying. the good news about what we were doing is at least I had a lot of industry connections. And that's another, I mentioned this earlier on the show, but I'll always be thankful for my time at NCIX, for all the things I learned. And I should have mentioned this, all the amazing people I met, many of whom, like, I really hope I don't miss anyone here, but guys like Rick from Corsair, Corsair was the first ones that ever wrote Linus Media Group Incorporated a check was Corsair. And those guys, very special relationship. That doesn't mean I won't give them a negative review or whatever. Guys like Fractal Design were on board very early on. Josh from Fractal, huge buddies. It doesn't mean I won't rip on their products if they suck. So those early guys really helped us pull through. What can I do for you?
What are you planning to print with your 3D printer that's actually practical?
Okay, the first practical thing you'll see printed is a shroud for our new router that is going to handle our new gigabit internet connection. And it needs a cooling shroud because I built using standard components in a 1U case, and we couldn't find a way to cool the CPU very well without that shroud, which we hope works, but we don't know yet.
Hi there.
Hi. Nice sunglasses. We're sunglasses buddies.
Why, thank you. Is there anything you regret about beginning your own company with Linus Media Group and going out on your own rather than through NCIX?
Wow, good question. Is there anything I regret? I mean, this ties really closely into the what do I like, what do I not like question. I mean, I wish I didn't have to work so hard, but like the fact that I get to roll into my parking spot that says Linus Media Group employees only, and then I get to go inside and hang out with Luke and Ed and Brandon and Taryn and Nick and other Nick and Colton, and I'm gonna forget someone. Crap. John, yes, thank you. Who else am I missing? I'm sure I'm Dennis. And Dennis, I think I got everyone. I mean, it's amazing. It's like the best job ever. I will sometimes post pictures in the middle of the night of me still working on something at 3 a.m. I'm not looking for your pity. I'm just saying this is what I'm up to because I have the best job on earth. It's awesome. So, yeah. Well, I have the best job on earth. I don't speak for Ed.
It may not be the best paying,
He
but
has
it's
a pretty
still
cool
good.
job. What's up?
All right, I got a serious question this
Okay.
time. All right, so about a year ago, you had a guest host on, Dotto from
Steve.
Dotto on Data, yeah. And I was wondering if there's anyone else like that was a huge source of inspiration, like me.
You know what? Actually, that's a great question because this Sunday, I'm going down to chill with one of my main inspirations when I was starting up on YouTube. Chris Perillo, also known as Locker Gnome, is going to be hosting an event called Vlogger Fair this weekend in Seattle. So I will be on a panel down there on Sunday. So I'll be doing 2 meetups within 3 days, which is kind of amazing. So I'll be down there just on the Sunday and hanging out with Chris, and he's going to be super busy, so hopefully I get some of his time. But there's going to be some other guys there. I think Barnacles and Jay's 2 Cents are showing up. They're both based in that area. Chris was a huge inspiration for me because he was pardon my French, he was the shit when it came to tech on YouTube when I was first getting started. No one could touch that guy. And I didn't really follow the phone guys, like your John Rattingers and your Soldier Knows Best, and I didn't really follow that stuff. So when it came to computer tech, it was him. So I've learned a lot from Chris over the years. We've hung out a few times, whether it's at an airport on our way back from that AMD Hawaii event or whatever else, and he's a huge inspiration for me.
Hi. Do you see Linus Media Group opening up more YouTube channels in the future?
Yes.
Let's Play?
No Let's Plays probably. I think it's a very crowded space. I think there's a lot of Let's Players out there that do a great job. Thank you. And if anything, I think I would be surprised if it's tech related. I think between Linus Tech Tips and Tech Quickie, we can handle, your shows and your reviews, and we can handle your rapid fire information, basically repository of facts about crap to do with tech. And I think Channel Superfun has been really amazing in terms of the growth that we've experienced, and B, really fun for us to make. And so I think our next project, which may be sooner rather than later, because Channel Superfun is as big now as Tech Quickie was when we started Superfun. So it may be sooner rather than later, but I think I'd be surprised if it's tech related at all. Maybe sketch comedy. I think we've got a lot of really great characters here. Maybe something to do with toys, which is what Channel Superfun was supposed to be and completely ended up not becoming at all. Is anyone else coming in for live Twitter Blitz? Okay, Luke, come on back onto the show.
What's your favorite color? Mine's red.
You made that up on the spot. Okay, this is a little known fact because I'm always on about pink. My favorite color is actually green. So there you go. Should we do we got to do the Ashley Madison topic. So more details on the Ashley Madison hack. So those of you who aren't familiar, ashleymadison.com is like a cheating site for married people, and they were threatened. They said, "Look, we hacked into you. We got all your user data, including credit card information."
I hacked into you.
And you can hack into me anytime. Although I'd prefer if you didn't hack. Gentle this time, please.
Yes, okay. We learned the first time around. That's not how you do that. You got to work into it.
So the hack is not only real, it's worse than we thought. The details are everywhere. They basically said, look, if you don't pull down your site, we're going to leak all the data, which included credit card information. Now, to be clear, if you want to check on your significant other or whatever, the fact that they have an account is actually not meaningful. I have an Ashley Madison account. As soon as we started reporting on the Ashley Madison thing, someone signed my email address up for an Ashley Madison account.
I've heard I have one, but I haven't seen the thing.
I started getting newsletters. I was like, do people not do email verification? Apparently not.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing because it means that there aren't necessarily 30 million cheats out there, because anyone, even someone who has no idea they have an account, can apparently have an account, but they also leaked credit card information. So if you want to actually use the site, you need a credit card. So if your credit card number's in there, you used the site.
Yes, so it's taking a lot longer than we originally expected to find all the people that were actually using the website, but it is starting to happen. Like basically person by person, it's being leaked. Like the first tip-off was when like Obama at whatever.gov was registered. I was like,
that's not a thing.
No.
At all.
No.
That's
and
like,
there was a lot of that. So
I mean,
yeah.
He's in there for the same reason that my personal Hotmail account, which was leaked like 3 years ago, and I never touch except for certain things, like my Ashley Madison account. So that account, I logged into it at some point and realized I had, I think it was either 30 or 60, it was some multiple of 3,000 like daily Bible verse newsletters sitting in it. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So someone, I think there are
How
sites
long have you had
where
that
you
email
can,
account?
Oh, I've had that email since like high
60,000
school.
daily emails.
Yeah. No, not daily, but 60,000 emails from the ones coming in daily.
Okay,
Yeah, total. And Hotmail's filter can only like do so many at a time. So when I'd search for keywords, and it's not as good as Gmail's filter, like it's not as granular in terms of what you can block, so I could only block by like specific email address. So if it's like info@Lighthouse Media, that's different from news@Lighthouse Media, which is different from admin@Lighthouse Media. And then it takes like 10 minutes to go through all, 1,000 of them because it can only do a page at a time. Like, no, I just want to get rid of them all. It's like, there couldn't be like...
Why did you even need to use that email?
I use it as like my password recovery for certain things, because actually,
to dig through and
no,
find something.
Hotmail has pretty sick two-step.
Yeah.
So my Hotmail account, this is an interesting behind-the-scenes story. My Hotmail account was what saved all of my other accounts when my YouTube channel got hijacked a few years ago. So they didn't get my Hotmail account. And that the notifications that I was getting as they were trying to get in was what alerted me to the need to change all my other passwords. So they went for the Hotmail account early and got locked out of everything else. So that's why I like my Hotmail account.
Yeah.
Also, there's a few like people who only know how to reach me there. I've had it for like 15 years, so it's one of those things.
And that's a tip, is to link your emails to a certain degree.
Yep.
It's actually a really good idea.
So basically there's 10 gigs of Ashley Madison info out there. It's pretty easy to find. And they dumped another 20 gigs onto the dark web in addition to the earlier 10 gigs for a total of 30. Yeah, so...
One of my favorite statistics, there's thousands of fake female profiles, and about 90 to 95% of the actual users are male.
Yeah.
We suck.
Yeah.
Wow. We're bad at things.
Yeah.
And we should probably feel bad for being bad at things.
Yep. All right, so what else did we tease? Because I think it's already almost 6:30.
Popcorn time, getting attacked.
Yes, so if you use popcorn time and you wanted another reason why you probably shouldn't, movie studio sues individual popcorn time users for infringement. So for those of you who aren't familiar with popcorn time, I've tried it. It's really, really good. Like, it's the Netflix of piracy. You basically just stream from torrents. And I was like, wow, this works really, really well. Subtitles are all like a drop down. I was like, all that crap that like when you're watching a Blu-ray, like it blows me away how crappy the Blu-ray experience still is. Why can't they fix this? Why do I have to sit through 2 minutes of blah, 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 don't copy this? Why do I have to go back to the menu every time? Why do I have to, all these things, just shut up.
They do really suck. It's very, very annoying
It's
when
like-
the experience is worse for people that are paying for it.
Okay, here's $1 million idea for the movie studios. Why do I have to come up with this crap? The first Blu-ray, okay, in the however many disc set, should have fewer episodes of the show on it, and it should have a lower quality compressed version of the entire season. So that I don't have to change my frickin' Blu-ray disc when I want to watch a different episode. Because I don't give a crap. I'm watching Family Guy. Do I need more pixels? No! $1 million idea. Why do I have to come up with it?
Peaking.
Sorry,
Peaking.
headphone users.
All the peaking.
So it
You'll
just
be
it
okay.
blows me away how much better the
We'll make
piracy
it through this
experience is.
together.
But the thing that people need to understand about popcorn time is even if you're a shameless pirate, you should not use it because you don't know what you're seeding. Anything you watch sits and seeds in the background until you reboot your computer. At least that's how it used to work. I actually haven't looked into it since
probably
the original.
how it works.
Probably still how it works. So popcorn time users, you could be getting it pretty good if you use popcorn time a lot. Restart your computer very
You wanna go get some
infrequently
popcorn?
because it could mean a lot of different studios.
Netflix and chill,
What are you doing?
I'm talking Twitch chat.
Oh, a lot
I
of
was like
different
Netflix and chill.
studios could be coming after you, and you don't even realize that you've shared so many different movies. Because that's the thing: is downloading is one thing, distributing is a whole other thing. So, is that it for WAN Show?
I think so.
All right, my back hurts from like this weird.
I'm sorry
pillow.
about that.
No, the after party's in person, yo. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to our sponsors. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. If anyone wants to run in and say hi to their mom,
Come around, come
now's
around,
the
come
time.
around, come around, come around. Whoa! I need to hold the freaking couch.
Okay. So thanks to everyone for attending Linus Media Group Meetup. RIP headphone users.
Squarespace.
Build it beautiful.
Don't lose this.